Thank you.
Quick safety stuff. Emergency exits. There's 2 middle windows here. From the top here, there's a little escape hatch. Please do not reenact your favorite rom-com and hang out the top of that. That's only for emergencies. My name is Chris Scotti, and I'm the owner of Discover Tehachapi.
My name is Claire Scotti, and I'm the kitchen manager and marketing director of Discover Tehachapi Tours.
Our first stop is going to be Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company. Our second will be Tehachapi Wine. We started working on the idea in 2019. We were looking around and seeing how wine country was growing out here.
And as we were visiting Tehachapi, every time we'd come up, we would visit a different winery, and we'd realize, like, wow, these wines are really growing and evolving and becoming something really special.
Well, I'm going to get us started with a little Tehachapi history, and I have a feeling a few people in here know Bob and Patty Sousa already. So you guys probably know that Patty is largely responsible for our wine industry. We primarily offer wine and beer tours, though long term we want to be a tour company that offers all kinds of tours up in the area. But our specialty and our bread and butter is definitely the wine tours. They're all inclusive, meaning that we want you to get on board, and the only thing you have to worry about is, am I going to purchase that bottle of Tempranillo or not? You really don't have to think about anything but having a good time. Hopefully you don't think too hard about that either.
Beth's and
I call this how to taste wine like a sommelier. First of all, does everybody know what a sommelier is?
Yes.
Okay. Second of all, do you all know I'm not one? As long as the wine is below the hips of the glass, you should be okay. I have seen one person get a little too vigorous before.
Yeah.
So you can't do it too hard. Just for the record, I'm drinking water. The more you can see through it, the more there is, essentially. So that's something that's particularly unique to Tehachapi, is we tend to have much heavier bodied reds up here.
She's not the sand the table.
And it still smells like cucumber because, again, it's cucumber water.
Yeah.
You're all going to have distinct smells depending on your wine that you have.
My name is Mike Van Atta, and I'm one of the owners of Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company.
Gosh, in a couple of months, these things will just be all leafed out, and then by September, we'll be ready to harvest.
The wines we produce here is Primitivo, which is a red Zinfandel. Primitivo became known as red Zinfandel when it came to the Americas in the early 19th century. Our rootstock originates from Italy, which is why we refer to it as Primitivo. We actually won Best of Class on our label design as well. And the wine itself was a silver medal, but we got Best of Class on the label design, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We harvest once a year, usually late September, early October. And we are just now, here we are at the end of April, we're just now getting bud break on the vines, so they're coming out of dormancy.
You know this is the best, almost world famous charcuterie, you know that.
Now, this is a different salsa I'd normally use, so I'm not sure how this is going to be, but
Okay.
it does kind of give us nice flavor and stuff. The Wine Growers Commission was started about 5 years ago, and at that time, our goal was to get the AVA established up here in Tehachapi. The AVA is American Viticultural Area, and it's a federal designation. And what it does basically is put us on the map as an official wine region. We got that designation granted in December of 2020, so we can now, it allows us to put Tehachapi Mountains, which is our designated name, on our wine bottles instead of just California. It just so happened that when we got the designation for the AVA, I want to think it was December 27th maybe that we got word. We were already scheduled to bottle the following month. And so I was able to contact our label people and get the label changed to designate Tehachapi Mountains instead of California on this bottle. So this is the first vineyard that was planted up here in Tehachapi. It was actually Patty Seuss's idea. Patty was standing down by the barn behind us over there and just kind of looking up here on the hills and told her husband Bob that, you know what, I think we could plant vineyards here. Look at our terrain and everything. And so they did some research and decided to go with it. It was a pretty risky endeavor on their part because it's almost 20,000 an acre to plant when you include all the infrastructure that's involved and everything. What was interesting is when they had gone down to the ag department, they were going, "Are you guys crazy? You can't grow wine grapes in that altitude." And they didn't agree, and they took their chances and have been successful, which prompted Triassic down the road to get planted. And then since then, we have 6 other vineyards out here.
So we like Tehchapi Winery Cattle Company. Well, luckily we'll make up a little bit on drive time because we're going about 10 feet down the road here.
I know. Everything now is so close. Hey, dude, Ron, we're doing it. Okay, just send it to you. Who wants some Ritz? Anybody like some Ritz? I'm old school. Ritz.
My name is Mike Chan. I'm the owner of Hatb Winery.
Yes.
That's from the Vineyard.
So
Oh, beautiful. I'm excited to taste it.
Farming has been a dream of mine since my childhood. So luckily, back in the 2010 and 2011, I started planting my first 8 acres, including Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Pinot Noir, and Syrah.
what is this? Is that a smoker? It looks like a smoker.
No, it's a press.
A press for the grapes. So you don't have to do this.
Yeah, during fermentation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this machine actually I imported from Italy as well. After fermentation, we'll put the juice inside this barrels for anywhere from 16 months to about 2 years. This one is capable of holding about 8,200 liters of wine in this tank. So that's roughly about a little bit over 2,000 gallons. So if you switch over to a bottle count, about 10,000 bottles.
10,000 bottles in this tank.
Yeah, or over 800 cases.
Have to double check with Mark on this, but it's likely that these release tannin slower over time because you have to get deeper and deeper into the wood. Your bottles go in on this side. These will be blank bottles, They'll come through, they'll get their label right here. They'll get filled at this station. They'll kind of come around, and this is where the cork will be inserted. So there's a big hopper full of corks. It'll pull a bunch down in a line and then shove them in there. And then it'll come down here, and this is where the foil is put on, and then it'll be undergo a heat treatment so that it sticks to the bottle. It'll come off here, and someone will be at the end of the line loading those bottles into cases. 12 bottles to a case.
Nothing's quite the same. Don't believe the words I hear, only what I see.
Like a little fox. Not little. The fox is baby, why looking back at me that way? You hide in plain sight like a lost chalet. It's a miracle that you could even see my face. Backwards tradition in the cards I play.
My name is Olde and I'm the proprietor of Rancho de los Viajeros Vineyard. Could also do some leaf thinning, eventually. Take some of the leaves so the more sun hits the grapes, but the leaf. I produce Malbec, and we opened the winery, we planted the winery, on 2011. Our first vintage was 2015. 16, 17, 19, and 20. I don't have any 18 because the 18 won double gold.
Hopefully you kept a bottle or two for yourself.
Yeah, I left, I had 4 bottles left. What happened, people kept buying 6 bottles and a case, and I don't make that much wine. I only make, my maximum is 1,100 bottles, which is like 90 cases or 92 cases. But for that one, the harvest was a little short, so we only had 70 cases.
Oh my gosh.
But everybody that came wanted a case.
Right.
Even people, some ladies got together between 2, 3 of them, and they bought a case just to make sure that it goes.
Wow.
So it was a good excitement. We just bought this ranch in 2007, but we were coming to the Tehachapi since 74. So we saw this ranch, and it's called Rancho de los Viajeros, it was called, and we are travelers, and that means the travelers. But look, see how many grapes, those are all grapes, going to be grapes, And we also wondered how, in Spanish, because I'm from Argentina, how somebody named a ranch like this, even though California speaks a lot of Spanish.
Right.
And so when it came up for sale, I was crazy because I'm 85 years old right now, but I was 73 when we bought the ranch.
Wow.
And my husband thought I was crazy, and I think he was right.
Oh, okay.
Let me introduce yourself so you can try it.
So good.
2021, the new one.
That's delicious. Wow. That's delicious.
All of our wines have won awards, making the Hatchapi an award-winning area.
Hi, I'm Mike Dorner. I'm the owner of Dorner Family Vineyard up in Tehachapi, and I'm the winemaker here. White wine, it goes through the crusher destemmer and is pressed right away because we don't want it fermenting on the skins. When we first started out, it was just a hobby. And Bob Sousa, that used to own Tehachapi Wine and Cattle Company, he talked me into planting more vines and opening the tasting room. And now I've got a 6,000 square foot tasting room and winery down in the basement. This is the wine cellar. This is where all the magic happens down here. They're bladder presses that has little laser slots in it, and there's a bladder in there that we fill up with air. In 2009, my wife and I went to Europe for 3 months in Germany, fell in love with the Riesling wine. So I came back and started the vineyard in 2010 with Riesling and Zinfandel because my in-laws liked white Zin. And in 2013, I made my first wine. In 2015, I sent in for a contest and took a gold medal with my Riesling and a bronze with my Zinfandel.
If you like slushies, we have a watermelon strawberry right here.
You know what I can't wait to try is the delicious wine floats. That will be our third drink probably.
During this time of year, when the grapes are growing, I go through once a day and have to keep them up through the wires. We net it around the middle to end of July to keep the birds off. And I've got this wire here so the net stays out so the birds can't push against the netting to get to my grapes. We do Tuscan dinners. We just did one where I'm the cook. I did chicken piccata, roasted asparagus with tomato. I made a lemon tart with ricotta cheese and lemon, and made a special fig jam, fig and orange jam to put on bruschetta, and everybody loved it. So
do you do the cooking?
I do the cooking. I'm the cook, the winemaker, and the contractor. The building itself, I designed it, drew the blueprints for it, and did quite a bit of work on it myself and everything. All the block work, brickwork, plumbing, electrical, and painting and stuff.
My name is Krista Tidd. I am the Stray Leaves Tasting Room Manager.
I don't think it's about the bottle pickup though. I think it's about any service that you got at the party today.
So Cliff started growing the wine in 2009. So he started growing wine as a hobby. He was growing some grapes, they were drinking the wine, and then all of a sudden he had so much wine and he became so good at it that he decided to open up a winery. The type of wine that Stray Leaves is going to specialize in is wild. So wild has to do with using the natural yeast on the grapes. So he's letting that process more naturally, and it's a little bit more risky. Sometimes it turns out and sometimes it doesn't.
Can I get you anything, sir?
Okay, this one would be the 15th. So this is the 2014 Riesling, and this one won the Silver Award. So the 2014 Primitivo won the Bronze Award. And then we also have a wide selection of reds. Our tasting room opened early this year in January. So we are currently open Thursday through Saturday from 3 to 8 p.m. The tasting room used to be a bank, so it was all remodeled in the inside. It's really beautiful. And the actual bank vault is still inside.
See the options here.
Yeah, Alicia's offered to drink with their. I'll take the whites.
Don't hold your breath, Ron.
This one This is the 2019. Yeah.
I think by doing that, you really get to see the difference in the vineyards, and the wines, and the views, and the different things.
I'm Jim Arnold. My wife Sally and I own Triassic Vineyards.
We want to get rid of these suckers because it drains the energy from going up to the grapes.
Triassic Vineyards was planted by Chuck McCulloch back in 2008. Chuck is a geologist and he worked for Shell Oil for about 30 years, finding oil all over the country. And the way he described it is these two hills were probably the first two hills of this mountain range millions of years ago. If you look compared these two hills behind us to the other hills, you'll see there's very little growth on the two hills that are from the Triassic period. And the other ones that came up later, you'll find trees and bushes and plants on it that are a result of the soil sticking to the mountains and growing that you don't see on the two hills behind us. When we bought the place, I knew the wine was pretty good, but in order to really find out, I felt we needed to enter some contests to find out how our wines compare to others. We entered the San Francisco Chronicle Wine Competition, which I did not realize at the time, but it's the largest one in the country. It's a blind test, and the judges don't know where the wine's from. And at the time, we only had California on our bottles. It could be anywhere in California. Tehchapi wasn't known as a wine growing region at that time. So anyway, we entered it in 2016, I believe, was our first entry, and we right off the bat.
In 2015, we got a double gold with our Zinfandel, we got a gold with our Syrah, and we got a silver with a blend. And then every year then, since, we've done well. And I'm kind of like the proud papa. When I was raising our kids, they all played sports, both soccer and softball, and it was always fun to have the trophies of our kids with all-stars and tournaments. And of course, they've grown up and moved away, but now I've got 7,000 kids out here in our vineyard. And so now I'm the proud papa, and these are the trophies our kids win in competition. So I'm kind of proud of it, but it also shows the consistency of the quality of wine that we can produce when we are entered with all of the big boys. It gets about 2 inches long, then they'll go back and cut off those other branches because we need those branches to bring up the moisture, the water.
What was even really helpful, frankly, during the pandemic, when you had to seat outdoors, we've got this enclosed patio that allowed us to have people come and sit outside and enjoy themselves. And I can't tell you how many people thanked us for being open and having a place to come. In fact, there's a corner right over there that's known as Engagement Corner. I've had 5 couples that have come in and told us that they got engaged there at that corner and wanted to get a bottle of our champagne. And I thought it was kind of cute because we didn't know it at the time, but they come back to celebrate that. And so we kind of informally call that Engagement Corner.
Well, I volunteer, which just means, you know, slave labor, but they pay well. So that's what I do.
No. Everyone you'd like, my dear. Okay, what are the different kinds? So she's got the cheesecake. This one is the only cheesecake. I think that's strawberry. Bite?
Nope. Thank you.
I think I've had enough.
Okay.
Oh, and you got a cake too. Okay. I got a cake. Look at you. And it's the perfect little amount. I know.